Hey everybody, Elgato has given us a free 6-key Stream Deck. That's right, a free 6-key Stream Deck while using the iPhone app. But first, what is a Stream Deck? A Stream Deck is a physical device that you can program buttons on to allow you to go ahead and do anything you want on your computer. Really, anything. I use it for streaming and switching my my scenes in Ecamm, but you can really use anything. You don't need to just use it for streaming, even though it's called a Stream Deck. You will find that you will use Stream Decks for lots of things. I use it every day in my work to bring up apps, to switch to apps, to answer my phone calls, do things like that. So, what exactly has Elgato done to give us a free Stream Deck? I know that sounds crazy, but because it is. They're not giving us a free physical Stream Deck. They're allowing us to use an iPhone or an iPad as a Stream Deck. And yes, I know that they've done that a long time. There's been an app available a long time. However, you had to pay monthly for it, and I think it was $4.99 a month, if I'm not wrong. And for me, that was just not really worth it. It wasn't worth it for me to have $3.99 or $4.99 a month to pay for something, a subscription. So what they've done with this new app is you can buy it one time for $50. That's right, $50 one time, and the app is yours for life. And what does the app do? Well, for free, even if you don't pay for it at all, you get a 6-key Stream Deck like I showed here earlier. This is, you get 6 buttons for free, all while using your iPad app. But what does it do, or iPhone, what does it do though to pay you can still buy the subscription if you want. You don't have to pay the $50, because I know you're thinking $50, that's crazy. But you can, and what does that unlock do? It allows you to upgrade from 6 keys to 15 or 32, which is the size of the physical decks they have. They have a 6-key, a 15, and a 32-key Stream Deck. But it also allows you to do a 64-key Stream Deck. Yes, that's crazy. So let's actually get into it, and let's look a little bit at it. So let me take you to the iPad. So this is my iPad, and this is the 64-key Stream Deck. So let me, so this is, you can program it to do anything you can do on the physical Stream Decks. You can have it, you can do anything you want on the physical Stream Deck. And so how you do that is, let's actually look at the Stream Deck app on my computer. So this is, if you see here, I click on where it said personal Stream Deck, and these are my 4 physical Stream Decks that I have. So I have them, all of my devices are labeled in here. And then my virtual devices, I just named them Z to keep them grouped together at the bottom. So Z-virtual, Z-phone, Z-virtual, 32. So you can see, I can go ahead and I can configure any of them here. If I click this is what you were seeing on the iPad. Let me actually go ahead and switch over to the 32 one, because that's actually a little bit easier to see. So this is the 32-key one, and as you can see, we have all sorts of different profiles in there, and you can create separate profiles. So if you have something for work, or if you have something for like this is my profiles, which are a test one, or the podcast answers soundboard. You can have different virtual devices showing up, not virtual devices, but virtual like profiles, and you can switch between those. And then every profile actually can do pages. So if you see on here, I have a page down here that if I click it, it takes me to the next page. It's on the same profile, but it takes me to the next page. And then you can also do folders. So if you click a button, it opens up a folder. It opens up a whole new screen to do folders. So if you had something like actions for a specific set of things that you were doing, you could open up in a specific folder in Stream Deck. So let's jump over to the iPad again, and I can show you how to create the Stream Decks, because you can have multiple virtual Stream Deck per device, like iPad or iPhone. you can have multiple on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new one real quick here. And you do that by going to Manage Connections, and then you can see all of the virtual ones that I have. If I say Add a Virtual Device, it's going to ask me to name it. So I'm going to name this Stream Test. You can choose the layout. So if you want it to be 5x3, 8x8, 8x4, 8x8, 3x2, or you can actually go in here and you can say you want one giant button or one row with 2 buttons in it. You can set it really to be however you want. For this demo, I'm just going to go ahead and choose the classic one. And then dynamic or orientation is how you can have it. So if your device rotates, your keypad may automatically adjust to fill the space. Your keys will change positions. So if you have that dynamically, if you fix it, it will stay the same position on your screen. And if you say none, it maintains the same layout even if your device rotates. So that's up to you how you want to do that. And then you can choose dark or light mode or choose it based on the system. And then you can choose faceplates. And I'm going to go ahead and choose this faceplate for this one. And you can actually upload your own custom faceplates. So if you wanted to have your background to be whatever, you could do that. So I'm going to say connect. And as soon as I do that, what happens is on my computer, it pops up and says, do you want to copy the profile from another Stream Deck? So you can take all of your profiles from your personal Stream Deck or whatever Stream Deck you have physically and copy them over to the new one. Or you can say don't copy. I'm going to say don't copy, which gives me a blank canvas to start with. So if we look at the iPad, it's blank. If we look at the configuration app, it's blank. And so then what I can do is I'll actually just go ahead and put 2 scene changes for Ecamm, which is, again, the software that I'm using to stream this and record this. So I'm going to choose that first one to be single camera, and I'm going to choose this one to be the iPad. And so if we actually take a look at the iPad, you'll see now we have 2 buttons on there. And if I choose the single camera button right here, it takes me to the single camera, the camera of me talking. And then if I choose the iPad, it takes me back to the iPad screen. So again, it's really just like the physical Stream Decks, and it's cool. Now, you can go back in and change the size at any time. So let's say we actually want this, instead of it being a 15 key, we want it to be a XL, because we like having more keys, right? The more keys, the better. You can always go back. You can change it if you want to. I can show you here. It looks, if we want to do just one button, we can scroll down to one button and go back out of the settings, say done, and we have one button. Now, I don't know why you would want just one button on your Stream Deck, but you can. So again, for this demo, I'm going to choose it to be the XL, which is the 32 key thing. Now, what's really cool is you can actually choose this little button here. And what that does is it allows you to manage Siri shortcuts. So you could say, hey, Siri, and whatever your name is for that button, whatever you want to call it, and it'll do it. So it can do it in the background. It's a little slow. You wouldn't want to use that for changing things like your stream while you're streaming, because that's just kind of silly. But it is there. You can use Siri shortcuts to use Siri to change what you're doing. Now, the really cool thing about the iPad app is we can run it side by side. So like I was saying earlier, actually, what we'll do with this, we will change this from being an XL to being custom, and we'll do 8x8. So we have a total of 32 keys, which again is a lot of keys, but it's really cool. And your iPad has that real estate. Now, what's cool is I said you could run it side by side. So if you click the 3 dots at the top, click split view, it's going to ask you what other app you want to run. And if I choose Stream Deck app, it's going to ask me which deck that I want to use. And I'll just go ahead and use this 64 key one. So now I have a total of 128 keys on my Stream Deck. That's crazy, guys. 128 keys is nuts. You can have a whole host of things and do anything that you need to do on the Stream Deck, because you have 128 keys. And then the cool thing again is you can have pages, and they're independent. So if I choose this page to move over, it's going to move over just on this one. If I had pages on this one, I could do that. Or you can make a multi-action and have it actually change both pages, so you can actually use it as kind of like one giant Stream Deck, which again is really nuts. And then if you want to get rid of that, you just slide. Well, actually, what's cool too is you can do it bigger or smaller. So if you have, let's say, we'll go slide this one this way. And then if we have, let's actually create this one to be a smaller Stream Deck. So you can actually slide it in and have those keys fit in there, all while having a bigger keys on your 32 or 64 key one, but still have the ability to have a separate Stream Deck there. So then you just slide to get rid of them, and you're back to your one Stream Deck. The other thing you can do too is you can run them multiple. So if you see at the bottom, once I click the 3 dots at the top, I actually have 2 different versions running still, and so I can switch back and forth between them. So I could use just this one, and then if I needed to switch, I could go back to this one, back to that one, back to this one, and it's really easy. And you can just slide and swipe and kill that app, and you're back to your 15, 32, whatever key Stream Deck you have. So this is really, really handy, and I found it for me just as a supplemental thing. So I still like my physical Stream Decks a lot because I can lay my hands over them. This is like one of the positive things about having a physical Stream Deck is you can kind of lay your hands on the keys. You can feel the different tactile buttons, and so you know, like the one that's in your left pointing finger is going to be the one that's going to switch to your main screen, and then the one that's next to that is going to switch to the other one. You can kind of quickly glance down, put your fingers on the keys, and then look up, and you don't need to be doing the whole like look down at your computer while you're trying to change scenes. That's a positive thing. With this virtual Stream Deck, the one thing that I found is it's harder to know because you can't just lay your hands on the screen and know where which button you're on, because you don't have that physical tactile feel on it. And so you kind of have to glance away a little bit. So for me, it's more for those things where I'm not needing to kind of keep my focus on one thing specifically, but I can look over, hit the iPad, switch the scenes, things like that. So that's one of the other physical things, because again, you just have these non-physical buttons that you have no depth to them or no thing. On the iPhone, it does have a little bit of a tactile feel as far as it does the whole haptic buzz, and so you do kind of feel that with the iPhone, and so you know that it actually went through. One of the negative things that I've found, I guess, is I would keep it, especially if you're going to be running it a lot, I would keep it plugged in, so that way the battery doesn't die on your iPad, or I'd at least start with it fully charged. One of the positive things about it, though, that I really do enjoy is the fact that with my physical Stream Decks, I have to physically be at my computer with them. They don't have a super long cord. I can't step away. If I wanted to record way back there, I can't do that because I have no way to switch the scenes. I mean, yes, I could use my Stream Deck pedal. That has a longer thing on it, and you can actually use that with your feet, so you can stay paid attention, all while standing up, standing away from your computer, but it's still not ideal. With the iPad app or iPhone, it works on the wireless, so you don't need to have it physically plugged into your computer. And as long as you're on the same wireless network, it just works. So I could take it and I could walk way back there and over by the couch, and I could still being able to switch the scenes that I'm using here in Ecamm, or do whatever I want. It's all physical. It's all wireless, so it works. So that's one of the positive things about doing it this way. And then, like I said, the nice thing about this is you have the ability to have multiple virtual ones. So if you want to have 3-4 different virtual ones, if you want to set up a Stream Deck for a specific event, you can do that and have that just for that event. If you're doing something like a live stream, you could have the one set up specifically for that type of thing. Again, profiles work great because you can switch between the profiles. You create a new profile, and now you have profile 1, default profile. You can switch back and forth. That's the same virtual Stream Deck, but it's different profiles for different types of things. So it's kind of all how you want to manage that. But again, you could have a virtual Stream Deck. Let's say we decide we don't want this Stream Deck. All we have to do is go to Manage Connections, and we click on the little eye, and we can change it too. So we can go back and change the different things in it. We can change the faceplate, we can change the size, but we also have the delete virtual device. So if we do that, we get a warning that says, are you sure you want to delete Stream Deck test? If so, it will be deleted from all of the Stream Decks on your, it will also be deleted from Stream Deck app on your computer. So I click delete, and then I get the, what do you want to connect to? So I'm going to just connect back to that one. But if I go back to the computer, if we look now, I don't have Stream Deck test in here as it. So it removed it from that. It got rid of it. I think this is a game changer. Again, because Elgato has given everybody a 6-key Stream Deck for free. You can use this for free. You do not need to have any other Elgato product. You can just manage this and have this for free, and it's useful. Now, you're probably going to find that you're going to end up wanting to pay for it because you want more buttons, but everybody can have a virtual Stream Deck for free, 6 keys right now. Guys, if you've not checked out Podcast Answers yet, it is my podcast where I help people start and grow their podcast. Go to podcastanswers.com. We have a weekly podcast covering all sorts of different topics about podcasting. Guys, have a great day.